This is Joy Kimiwe at the well. Welcome to this episode. And today we are saying pride goes before a fall. Let me give you a background to what I'm just about to share. I want to do a parallel between two women in the Bible found in the book of Esther. And the background is that we find the king of the day having a party or a banquet, and with his nobles they're just enjoying themselves, and the advisors of the king tell him, why don't you bring your wife around, let her come and parade her beauty and kind of entertain us. And the king, of course being drunk, thought, this is not a bad idea. So he calls for Vashti, the queen, and Vashti at the same time was having a parallel banquet or party with the women in the kingdom. And she says, no, tell the king I'm not coming. I'm having my own banquet. I will not come to him. So the king is humiliated, embarrassed, and his advisors again tell him, why don't you look for a young woman to become the queen? Because Vashti has shown such disrespect and disobedience, she's going to be a bad example to the women. They will not respect their husbands. And the king again listens to them, and they advise that they get women and put them in a harem or a house for beautifying them for 9 months. And that's how Esther steps into the scene. Esther is an orphaned girl brought up by her cousin Mordecai, and she finds herself as a refugee in a foreign land, and she's taken into the harem together with the other women. So, looking at both of them and drawing a parallel, both Vashti and Esther were beautiful to look at, but Esther's beauty came from the inside to the outside. Vashti's beauty was on the outside only. Vashti is bold, and so is Esther. Both of them are bold, but I would say Esther was courageous. But Vashti was just bold. In fact, hers came out as rudeness. Vashti was arrogant and pride. Esther, on the other hand, having grown up in humble circumstances, was humble and respectful, as she had been taught by her cousin Mordecai. Esther was God-fearing, as we will see, because she is prayerful. She's calling people to pray and fast when she's in trouble. Vashti did not even consult anyone. She has nowhere to draw her wisdom from. And as the Bible says, a foolish woman destroys her own house. Her house with her own hands. But Esther was wise because her wisdom was from God. Vashti is disrespectful. We have to respect authority. But Esther, we see her being obedient both to Mordecai and even respectful to the king and to the people who were doing the beautification in the harem. Esther was wise, but Vashti was very, very unwise. I keep saying that you don't cut a tree when you're sitting on the branch. You will definitely fall down, or you don't burn bridges. Even when you disagree with people, your husband, your father, your employer, your boss, whoever, do it wisely. Do it fairly. Let me throw in a nugget for single girls who are trusting God for a husband. When somebody or a man approaches you, let's be very specific here. When a man approaches you and you think this is not the one for me, and you don't like them and you don't want anything to do with them, you can say no in a dignified way. You don't have to cut them into small pieces and throw them into a heap of humiliation. You can say no, but do it respectfully. Remember, this is somebody's son. This is somebody's nephew. This is somebody who matters to other people. And do not burn bridges. You never know where you may meet this man. You may not be the wife, But you might find them in a place where you need help and they're the only people to help you. And I'm not saying we do this so that we can receive help later. I'm just saying let's be respectful even when we are saying no or when we are disagreeing with someone. Sometimes we find ourselves in very unbecoming circumstances like Esther. She was an orphan, a refugee. Could God have put you where you are for such a time as this with a divine purpose? It may not be comfortable, but maybe He's in the process of building something, making a way for you even where there seems to be no way. Esther was very God-fearing. She was prayerful. She exuded that beauty that comes from the inside, the one we are admonished in the book of 1 Peter chapter 3. Allow me to just read very briefly. It says, "Do not let your adornment be merely outward arranging of the hair, wearing gold, or putting on fine apparel. Rather, let it be the hidden person of the heart with the incorruptible beauty of a gentle and a quiet spirit, which is very precious in the sight of God." That is New King James Version. The Bible also says that when a man's ways are pleasing to the Lord, He causes even his enemies to be at peace with them. So let our ways please God so that He can help us to find peace with other people. Esther had a lot of favor with people and with God. Vashti, on the other hand, had charm and beauty. Again, ladies, let's not use our beauty, our charm for evil. I know you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and thank God for that. But do not use your outward beauty to ring people around your little finger. Do not use it to disgrace people. Do not use it as a point of advantage and cause other people to feel lesser than you are. Use it for the glory of God. Esther knew herself. She knew who she was. Vashti forgot who she was. She was only queen by virtue of being the king's wife. So she could not afford to be disrespectful and expect business to go on as usual. Be wise in the choices and the decisions you make. They could either lead you to your downfall or propel you into God's purposes for your life. Pride goes before a fall. As I talk about beauty, do not use your beauty to break other people's homes, other people's marriages. Trust God to give you a husband of your own. And He's faithful. He's done it for many. He will do it for you. Do not use your beauty to obtain positions in your places of work or business. Use it as unto the Lord, as Esther did, unlike Vashti. Remember, do not burn bridges. Do not burn bridges. Be wise. And wisdom begins by knowing God. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So let's be God-fearing. Esther's weapons were not carnal, but Vashti's weapons were carnal, and they cost her her status, they cost her her marriage, they cost her a lot of shame. In fact, they brought her down because she was using carnal weapons. Let our weapons be spiritual. God bless you. See you on Friday at the well, where we meet Jesus and He fixes our issues. This is Joy Kimi.